changes for the U.S. dollar next week. The Federal Reserve is about to completely alter how you use money in the United States. Why is no one covering this story? They're focused on Donald Trump, literally ignoring one of the biggest stories in America right now. We're going to get to that part of the story in a moment, how the monetary policy will shift, the monetary system will shift in the United States. But first, something odd is happening in the United States and to the U.S. dollar that's in your pocket right now. It's quickly becoming worthless. And not just in terms of inflation and buying power, but try to pay for something with United States paper currency in your pocket, and you will now be met with resistance. You'll be told, hey, we don't accept paper cash anymore. We don't accept your coins. We don't accept cash at all. We're digital now. That's exactly what's happening. Take the U.S. national parks.
I mean, I accept that from flight attendants because I'm like, you don't have change all the way up here.
Yeah, I accept that, but no. But anywhere else, like on the space shuttle, maybe. International Space Station, I get it.
Right.
Like I don't think that you have a cash register to give me some change, right? But U.S. national parks, yes, places that you drive your RV to and hitch up overnight, you'll now find that these U.S. government parks will no longer accept cash. This is just the first of many government offices, government buildings, government installations that you'll now not be able to pay cash. The cost of going cashless, this article says, and Frommer's, as U.S. national parks, as many switch to plastic only, digital. Here's how Frommer's describes it. So far in 2023, Badlands National Park in South Dakota, Crater National Park in Oregon, Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore in Michigan have all transitioned to fee systems that only allow credit card, debit card, and mobile payments. And Washington State's Mount Rainier National Park set to follow suit in May of this year. Those places join at least 20 more U.S. federal lands that won't take your U.S. federal currency anymore, including Wyoming's Devil Tower National Monument, FDR's former home in upstate New York, the Wright Brothers National Museum in North Carolina, the Chaco Culture Pueblos in New Mexico. From sea to shining sea, you better have a credit card, prepaid pass, or a smartphone that's equipped with a mobile payment app if you want to access these all-important sites of natural beauty in the United States, historical interest, or any sort of outdoor recreation and family road trip fun. I remember pulling up with my family, and if the attendant wasn't there, you drop some money in the bin, or you put a little envelope and you drop some cash in the system. Gone. You can't do that anymore. And a lot of Americans, I just want to say, a lot of Americans are unbanked, don't have a bank account, don't have access to digital currency. So you don't take their cash, they can't enjoy any of this. Go ahead, David.
Well, and I think that's by design. And what this really makes me feel like is this is the further push to the federal digital currency, because like a lot of us use Cash App and Venmo and stuff like that. But what can happen is once they get us into a cashless society, and even using the apps that we right now trust, then they can throw regulations on those apps. And we're already in there because they want to be able to move money instantly with this Federal Reserve thing that they're working on. So it is further moving us toward that digital currency thing that we've been talking about for a while, and that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And as someone in the chat just says, what happens if the whole system collapses, breaks down, falls down? Yeah, well, here, don't worry about it because the internet never goes down. Websites never have a problem. Banking systems are always secure, so you don't have that to worry about. Don't even worry about it.
Nothing is hackable. Nothing is hackable.
Exactly. Nothing is hackable. So the National Park Service describes going cashless as a way of improving efficiency, saving money, tightening security. Opponents, of course, countering that an ongoing war on cash in various kinds of transactions will hurt privacy, right? Limit access, puts us all at the mercy of technical glitches, hacking is what we just talked about, or just collapses of the grid. What if power outages, right?
Well, more concerning than that is the idea of just dipping into your money when they decide to. For instance, Senator Elizabeth Warren has been very vocal about wanting to have an H&R block that's federal. So basically, you sign in, the government calculates how much tax you owe, and then just takes it from you right then and there. So there's no room to be creative. There's no tax incentives to say donate to what have you. There's no more arguing. It's just you owe this. We take it now. That's one of the reasons that we never link bank accounts to our IRS tax payments, because, we'd rather wait for those direct deposits if we have a refund than have them have access to just swoop in and take whatever they want. We had a dispute last year because there was a check that didn't make it on time, even though we mailed it on time. So they were marking it late. Of course, I've never been able to get anybody on the phone, but we had a $600 late fee that I was not able to dispute. We were sending letters. It was going back and forth. But I knew for a fact that this dispute in future society, they would have just taken it instead of me being able to argue the $600.
And that's a good reminder for all of us. Please, please, please do not have your bank account linked to the IRS.
Now, this is not our advice. This is from tax expert Tom Wheelwright, who we talk about a lot on this show, from the Wealthability podcast, fantastic podcast to further your financial education. But he does not ever want anyone to link that. If you're like, well, I want that direct deposit, you're better to hold your horses a few weeks for the actual check than to give them that power over you. We're not giving you advice. We're giving you thought. Things to think about.
So the U.S.
Well, and I also wanted to point out really quick the infrastructure for internet and mobile. How many national parks do you have great mobile service to even be able to use these apps? Because you're getting on your bank, you got to be online, or it's not going to get the charge.
That's a great point. How many times are you out there in the middle of nowhere and you're like, we went hiking one time and I don't know, we were somewhere in Pennsylvania and I was trying to get get information to my family or something like that. And there was nothing, no service at all. And we had to wait till we got back on the main road, 30 minutes away before we ever got any service from anything. So exactly right. So the U.S. is moving to a cashless society, a digital dollar to track everything you do. Side note, the country of Sri Lanka is now accepting U.S. dollars in cash to go to their national parks. Let me repeat that. The country of Sri Lanka is letting you use U.S. dollars to go to their national parks. You just can't do that in the United States. You literally can't make this up. Here's Sri Lanka is allowing foreign visitors to pay in U.S. dollars to enter their national parks. On Monday, the Federal Reserve, led by Jerome Powell, issued a press release declaring the launch of the new U.S. digital dollar, which is coming in July fully, but it rolls out next week, so about 3 days. So get ready, it's happening. Here's what they're planning and how they describe it from the Federal Reserve. The FedNow service will provide individuals and businesses the ability to send and receive instant payments through the Federal Reserve FedLine network at any time of day, 7 days a week. Recipients of payments using FedLine or FedNow will have immediate full access to funds which enable greater flexibility, they say, and opportunity for immediate use of money sent and received. In April, the Federal Reserve will begin certifying participants so that they can be fully set up when the launch occurs. So again, starting next week. Those institutions will be prepared to send live transactions through the system. And then in June, the Federal Reserve and those certified participants, again, which start next week, will engage in production validation activities to prepare for the launch. But next week it officially starts, this rollout, the first week of April.
Now, we have somebody in the chat who just said we're being fearmongers. I would like to point out that at least 11 countries in recent history have gone bankrupt and dipped into citizens' private retirement accounts in order to bail themselves out. Ireland, Hungary, Argentina, the list goes on.
Cyprus.
I can name at least 11 of them.
Greece.
So if you want to call us a fearmonger, that's fine. But then I hope you're not too surprised, because we have over, I think it's getting close to $33 trillion in debt at this moment. Is it 35, 33?
30, yeah, it was like 33 last week. It's probably 34.
And so, and there are talks, for instance, politicians have been discussing forcing private retirement accounts into buying government bonds or treasuries. So not only would they be able to dip into your account, they would force what you use it for. Politicians actually have been talking about it. It's not my idea. I am afraid of it, but I'm not fear-mongering by making it up.
Yeah,
so take that back.
But also, take it back. But also, by educating you,